So our egoic sense of self is kind of this mechanism that is constantly assessing this moment and comparing it to some future imaginary moment. And that future imaginary moment could be a minute from now, 10 hours, 10 years, 10 lifetimes from now, if we're talking about awakening. And we're never going to find peace by doing that. Peace can only come, and then eventually love and joy, and even a deep bliss. It can only come by being present to what is here in this moment already. And not the sort of very quick glance at this moment the ego does and says, that isn't what I want. This isn't what I want. And I can't be happy until it is how I want it to be. So for me, my awakening, my spirituality, my practice all began to boil down to a very simple thing. How am I in this moment? How am I with this moment? How am I responding to and reacting to what is the shapes that are moving in this moment, the manifestation? Because this moment in itself, we don't really have a problem with. This moment now, if we just take this moment now, you don't really have a problem with it. You tend to have a problem with what is appearing inside it, the shapes that the forms are taking, whether that's thought forms, emotional forms, whatever way the body is appearing, if it's comfortable or uncomfortable, healthy or otherwise in pain, or whether it's just restless, or whether some external form is troubling you, something going on in your life. So we can make a huge evolutionary leap into peace when we begin to see how this moment treats the forms that are arising. How does it be with what is coming and going in this moment? Does it use all of this, the nowness of this moment, does it use all this manifestation as a means to an end? Is it looking to get something different and better than is here right now? Does it have that capacity? So our ego begins to soften and dissolve as we really begin to see that all we have to work with is this moment. And for me, it was revolutionary when I began to understand that pushing against what is happening, what has already manifested in this moment, for me, it was insanity, and yet I kept doing it. Pushing against what's already shown up, whether that's thoughts, emotions, the body, the way the body is, something going on in our relationships. Pushing against it, rejecting it, and expecting to feel peace is absolutely the definition of insanity when we look at it really. Can we ever feel an absence of conflict in this moment when we're pushing against what is? And as we begin to see that, it doesn't mean we have to kind of like how this moment is in the way that the manifestation is appearing. But we can take a huge evolutionary step when we begin to accept this is how it has already shown up. What I would like those shapes, those forms to move and change into might be something else than it is right now. But how it is right now is how it is right now, and no amount of pushing against that is going to make it different than it is already, how it's already taken shape, how it's already taken form. So we could say that formless is always moving into some kind of shape, some kind of manifestation. And it's like trying to, when the rain's falling out of the clouds and hitting the ground, it's like trying to get that rain to go back up into the cloud. It's never going to work. You cannot get those raindrops out of the ground and back up. And yet we're all doing this until we don't. Because of this one very well-believed idea that if I push against this moment, is going to change into what I would like it to be. If the shapes appearing in this moment are not how I want them to be, my thoughts, my emotions, how my body feels, how my relationships are, how my career's going, how healthy my bank account looks, how my relationship is with my family, whatever it's going on, if I push against it right now, how it's already shown up, then somehow magically it's going to turn into what I want it to be. So this idea that the more I resist this moment, the more successful I'm going to be at getting what I want. We can begin to see that this is utter nonsense, really. And we've all really bought into this, most especially perhaps with awakening. If I really push against and reject the fact that I don't feel at peace right now, it'll somehow change into peace. It is what mind, ego, separate sense of self says. Is that really working out for us? Is that really actually going to produce a lasting, stable peace? Not so much.